The National Transportation Safety Board will be investigating the crash on the interstate in Waterville yesterday that killed 2 construction workers.
The NTSB confirmed on social media today they are sending investigators to Waterville to conduct a safety investigation in conjunction with Maine State Police. 2 Maine Department of Transportation workers were killed in the crash in a construction zone.
State Police said 34-year-old Samantha Tupper of Augusta failed to stop at a posted sign at the top of an on-ramp, and her minivan was hit by a tractor-trailer. That van then struck the workers.
60-year-old James Brown and 51-year-old Dwayne Campbell, both of Waterville, died after being overthrown from the bridge onto Kennedy Memorial Drive. Also, new information today from the DOT. They say 2 other workers, not one, as was reported yesterday, suffered non-life-threatening injuries, and both are recuperating.
Also, Public Safety Department spokesperson Shannon Moss tells us the investigation could take a month or longer due to its complex nature. She says once it's complete, the case will be turned over to the district attorney's office to determine if any charges will be filed.